since the world's worst nuclear disaster. And war threatens more tragedy at Chernobyl. Last year, a Russian drone strike tore into the protective arc, covering part of the nuclear plant. Denis Kamenko, Deputy Director for Technical Operations at the facility, says drones and missiles regularly fly over the exclusion zone. What we saw after the strike on February 14, 2025 could happen again, he says, with far more severe consequences. Russia denies involvement in the attack, which Ukraine's security service said involved a Shahed drone, a weapon Ukrainian forces do not use. Workers have since patched up the hull with a large panel dwarfed by the hulking 256-metre-wide steel structure that covers damaged reactor 4. But further repairs are needed.
In some areas of the arch, carrying out repairs is extremely difficult due to very high radiation levels. So, for example, a welder or other highly qualified personnel may only be able to work there for a few minutes or perhaps a few hours.
Large parts of the Chernobyl exclusion zone have close to normal levels of radiation, but some areas, particularly around the destroyed reactor, remain highly contaminated. It's a reminder of the acute risks at the facility more than 4 years into the war. It also means Ukraine marks the 40th anniversary of the Chernobyl disaster, needing to reshield the old sarcophagus covering tons of radioactive debris. Last year's drone strike sparked a weeks-long fire, damaging the membrane sealing the original steel and concrete structure that was hurriedly built over the reactor by Soviet authorities in 1986. Experts say work to repair the structure, which was meant to last 100 years when it was built in 2016, must begin within the next few years to avoid permanent damage. The European Bank for Reconstruction and Development is raising funds for repairs, estimated to cost at least $585 million. Here's Bank President Odile Renaud-Basso.
There is a huge amount of radioactive material, fuel, which are underneath this new safe containment. So that's why it's so important to carry on the work before this risk of corrosion, and then we would need to start, if this happens, if corrosion happens and the containment is not effective anymore, we would need to start from scratch in a way, so in a much more expensive response.